Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In fact, this is my first full video, so I really hope you enjoy it. Now today I want to share with you what I feel is quite possibly the best budget gun in the game. And it's a gun that's readily available, you don't have to do anything to unlock it, so no grinding. I also really hope this video is valuable for both new players who just want something that they can use to get their missions done, build up cash, and obviously win fights against other players when they come across them, even kitted players, as well as veteran players who are looking for a gun that's cheap to run, that isn't a travesty, so they can be as profitable as possible in their raids. Because let's face it, while the gun customization mechanic is absolutely brilliant, it's also very expensive. It's quite easy to land up with a customized gun that costs 160, 200k or even more. In fact, this XM5 build that I love running so much, and I do in a few of my videos, that on the preset costs 300k. And that excludes ammo, because obviously if you have a high tier gun, customized gun, you're going to run the best ammo you can, and 10 stacks of high tier ammo, that's easily 200k. And to be fair, 10 stacks is quite light for a lot of people. Most people run more than that. Now, couple that with the rest of your kit, it's quite easy that your kit costs as much as or close to $1 million bucks. Now, the problem is, it's quite easy to die in this game. Or let's face it, the game crashes. That's been happening a lot. And if either of those things happen, you lose everything. Now, for a lot of players, the whole sort of gist of what they're trying to do is they're trying to build up as much cash as possible so they can buy cool things. But if you're losing close to $1 million bucks every time, or even just half of that, it can feel like you're taking 2 steps back, right? Because while it is really easy to get 500,000 in a raid, 1 million in a raid, 2 million in a raid, even more, there's no guarantee that will happen. So the only way to guarantee to be profitable is that if you lose as little as possible. And that is where the budget guns come in. Now, there are 3 main considerations as to what makes a great budget gun. 1 is obviously cost. The cheaper the better. Number 2, though, is efficacy. It doesn't help that your gun is really cheap, but you can't win a gunfight with it. Because then people are just going to keep killing you, they're going to keep taking your stuff, and you're going to get frustrated and not have a great time. Number 3 is availability. Now, ideally, you want something that you can get a lot of, that you can stockpile. Reliably, you can find them and keep a lot of them maybe on your wall. You can practice with them, practice makes perfect, so you get really good with them. And then when you want to jump in a raid, you grab one off the wall, throw in your favorite attachments, and you're good to go. Now, the ways to get guns or availability in this game, the 3 ways that you would typically consider. 1, obviously, you can buy them. But guns in this game, as you can see, are quite expensive, so that doesn't help the case of a budget gun. Yes, you can trade, and there's some great guns you can trade for, but then you need to find the correlating items, and although you might have some in the beginning, then soon your game just becomes about finding the right items for stockpiling your guns, and that might not be that fun. The other way to get guns in this game is obviously you can find them in the raid, and while you can find really good guns in the raid, there's no guarantee that you're going to find the same ones consistently in raids, so that's sort of out as well. However, the 3rd way that you can get guns in this game, and where we're going to focus on, is the scav runs. Now, everybody knows that as a scav, you are given a loadout with one of I don't know how many preset guns. Some of those are crappy, others are okay, but 1 or 2 are good, and 1 in particular is really good, and what I feel is the best budget gun in the game, and that is the Scav M4. Now, like I said, the thing that causes guns to be expensive in this game is the customization. You can customize them so they can be better and more effective. However, this Scav M4, as it is, as you get it, is pretty good. Let's take it to the bench and have a look. So the Scav M4, in my mind, absolutely perfect. Now, I'm in no way saying that this is the best build or the best components, definitely not. But as a budget gun, it's perfect. It's decent enough that even if you had to swap out some of the parts for better parts, I don't think you would notice much of a difference. The stock is great, the grip is good, the upper receiver is perfect. That's the one you want with the extended rail, so you can mount sights further back. It also has a longer barrel for better stats, brilliant. It has the handguard with the rails mounted on, so you don't have to pay for mounts. And then it also has a muzzle, nothing fancy, does the job. Now, what I would change or add, I wouldn't change any of those components, but what I would add is obviously one, a sight. Now, if you're on a budget, you would typically add something that you already had collected for free. But for the sake of this exercise, let's pay for our sight so we can just see what the total cost to get this thing up to ready to go would cost. I like the Walters, but not a free one. Let's pay for it. So I always like the Walter. It's the cheapest or the second cheapest sight in the game. It's a crisp, clear red dot. That's too far back. It has a brilliant side picture and has a very small metal frame, so your peripheral and awareness is really good with the Walter. I like that. Then we would add a foregrip as the next item. Now, once again, you'd probably go with something for free, but let's pay for something. There are very cheap options like $6,000, brilliant. But let's go mid-tier. Let's go with the Tango, because I know a lot of people start with Tangos, so they're inclined to have a few of them, and they'll probably use one of these for free if you have them lying around. So we'll add a Tango, mid-stats, it's okay. Now we're sitting on 28,600 and some change. That is good to go. Yes, if you're on a map like Suburb or Dam, maybe you want something with a magnifier for a sight or something like that so you can do longer range. But if you're going out in a budget, this is good enough. The one caveat I will add, if you're going to a map that's dark like Metro or Smugglers Tunnel, it may be worthwhile to add a light. Now I'm going to pay for the light. The reason why we add the light, it gives you a huge tactical advantage. For those that don't know, you blind your opponents with it. I've got a video out of myself as a solo against 3 very kitted players, and I won that, and I was using a light, so I'm pretty sure I blinded them very well with that. I know other players like to also use lasers. Not a big fan of the lasers. They don't really add any tactical advantage. I feel like they give your position away. Like every time I fought a player that was using a laser, I could see where they were pointing, so I knew when to jump out and surprise them. So I know, yes, you can switch them on and off, but I don't know. For me, personal preference, I don't like them. But if you like them, cool. But anyway, as a build for going into a small dark map like Smugglers or Metro, at the flashlight, I think this is brilliant, and this is what I'll run I'm going to go into Smugglers Tunnel to look for players. But let's just I'm just going to remove these because I've got these items, so I don't need to pay for them. Waste not, want not. Let me just add I'm sure I have these for free. Yep, there's the Walter. I think I have a Tango as well. Yep. And then I know I have some lights. There we go. So same build, I'm going to run it for free. Now we're going to run this, and I'm thinking of Smugglers Tunnel as a good example because there's a lot of players in there. You come across them quite easily. What I'm also going to do to prove the validity of this, best practice is you go in with your best ammo normally, like in this case would be M995, but 10 stacks of M995 or 11 of them is going to cost us close to 200k. So in the interest of proving that it's a good budget gun, especially for maybe newer players that don't even have access to M995, instead I'm going to go in with Mark 318 that pretty much everyone has access to, and it's a fraction of the price. Also, I'm going to go in with 30 round mag. So although you have 60 round mags for this, I'm going to do a 30 round mag with Mark 318 in the gun. I'll have 2 spare Mark 318 mags on my chest, 30 rounders, and then I'll have a grenade pouch with 3 additional stacks of Mark 318. And then because it is an M4 and they do have a very high fire rate, so they go through ammo quite quickly, I will take 2 spare stacks of Mark 318, either in my backpack or my safe container. So that's what I'm going to go in with. I'm not going to go in with top top tier ammo because that sort of defeats the purpose. Let's go in cheap and see where we come out.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Trying to loot my kill. Oh, good. let's see what happens now that we're back in the base. First of all, let's see. We've got various, we've got kamikaze. 4 players in total. Good luck, guys. Game. Right, guys, so there you have it. As you can see, definitely a viable option. I know those weren't the most kitted players, but they were actually a fair representation of what you typically find in Smugglers Tunnels and other places. So this will definitely work. Feel free to give it a few tries. Might take a while to get used to it, but yeah, thanks for watching to the end. If you found any of this helpful or interesting, I wouldn't mind if you liked and subscribed. That would be great, helps me out. And then I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.